Welcome everybody to episode number 61 of Gaming Culture Radio podcast. I'm your host Tyler. I'm joined as always by our three co-hosts. Let's start with Mike. How you doing today?
I like banana bread.
All right,
I love banana bread.
Yeah.
Yummy, yummy in my tummy.
There's zero
No,
chance the oven is being turned on right now,
No.
but other than that, I agree. Also joining us is Graham. Graham, how you doing?
I'm doing a lot better now that my day of work is over. Had a rough day, but sometimes you
Okay.
have them, and we powered through it, and now I'm home and relaxed for the weekend and hopefully play some video games.
Absolutely.
That means you get electrocuted.
No electrocutions today.
So that's good.
That is good.
Been 3 days.
So also joining us is Eugene. How you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, brother.
Super. So you can join the conversation by heading over to Facebook and joining the Gaming Culture Radio forums. When you're there, you can submit questions to be read on the show like we'll do at the end of this show. And if your question's read on air and we talk about it, you'll be entered to win our monthly giveaway, which we just had last week. Still waiting on our winner to contact us, by the way. But we do one giveaway every month, and if you contact us after you win, we'll send you over the code for a game or a gift card or something pretty cool. That is yours. So you can also follow us on Twitter at Gaming Cult Radio, and we'll have updates soon about Xbox Culture. The website is currently undergoing maintenance, so we apologize for that. But we'll have updates on that hopefully next week. So let's get into the news this week. Guys, one of my favorite subscription services for gaming, EA Access, is adding some pretty big stuff right now.
Yes.
So you're going to get this quarter, not all right now, but this quarter, Battlefield 1, Titanfall 2, and all of the Star Wars Battlefront expansions to EA Access and Origin Access. This quarter, the Battlefront expansions are available right now.
Wow.
And yeah.
That is impressive.
So I think it's a great move by them. It gets people hyped up for Battlefront 2. And I'm
I can't
hoping...
believe Battlefield 1 is joining this list so early.
I know, but I think they're trying to get people to buy into the expansion.
Yeah.
What I was just going to say is I think it'd be awesome if in a year from now, once they release the fourth, map pack, that I think it'd be awesome if they put that in Access as well. They didn't do that with the first Battlefield or Battlefield 4, I don't think.
Yeah.
So
Well, I would say that's not a far out assumption, seeing Star Wars Battlefront, all their expansions are going up, right? So they might very well do it with Battlefield 1.
Yeah, and it's same developer, right?
Yep.
So it shouldn't be an issue. But I think, one thing I've always kind of worried about is splitting the player base. And I love Battlefield 1, and a lot of their expansions are awesome. Like, I'm really looking forward to the Tsar one coming out, In the Name of the Tsar. The maps look great. The night battles look awesome. That's coming really soon, actually. And then In the Name of the Tsar comes in, September? But I worry about splitting the player base. So you're going to have just not nearly as many people to play with because it's a $50 premium pass. So, Mike, what were you going to say?
That's what I was going to say. Isn't this going to piss off people who paid the $50 premium pass because now people are getting things for free?
Well, you pay for it to get it early, though. I mean, I think that's just part of the deal. Like, I don't know if we talked about it on the show or when we were just playing something, but it's like, when I bought the TV that I have now, I think I got it at a good price, but I'll hate the price I paid for it a year from now,
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So it's just one of those things where you pay for adopting it when you do. And if you're super fired up to play the Battlefield expansions, like, I don't think at all they should put it in Access before the fourth one's out. You need to let that fourth one get out there for at least a couple months to reward the people who actually gave you $50. But after that, why not unify your player base? Because that's going to be around the time we're going to be pushing the next Battlefield game. So get people excited, get them playing it. I hope they do it, but I get what you're saying, though. Like let's say they release the third one, and then all of a sudden put it in Access, and there's people that are going to get the fourth one that paid for it. Yeah. I'd be upset, too. I totally get that.
Yeah.
But if after it's all said and done, I don't think that's that big of a deal.
All right.
So just to clarify, so you can get the Battlefront expansions now, so all the DLC.
Yeah, like the Death Star and Bespin and
oh man,
Jabba,
yeah,
Jabba
I
Palace.
kind of want to play it now. I deleted it from my hard drive, and now
I
I've got to reinstall it. And then Battlefield 1 and Titanfall's coming September.
They're coming this quarter, so we don't know exactly when.
Okay,
but they're coming.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
Yep.
And then I don't know if we mentioned the early access too. As well, the trial for like FIFA 18.
Yes,
announced that as well.
Yeah, not to turn into an ad for EA Access, but you do get early access of pretty much every EA game out there. You'll get to play all their sports games, whether it's Madden or FIFA or whatever, early. And EA is doing kind of a cool thing right now for starting this year, where if you pre-order the game, the full game unlocks 3 days early, and they're doing it for Madden, they're doing it for NHL, they're doing it for FIFA, and they're doing it for Battlefront 2.
I mean, I'm totally not, like you said, not to be an advertiser for EA.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have EA access until maybe 2 months ago. I got it for free for 1 month with my Xbox One S purchase.
Yep.
I immediately, like after my month was over, I went on CD Keys and got it for like $22. You can get it for less than the $30 retail price, but $30 anyway, it's still a good deal. I mean, I played Battlefield Hardline with it. I played Unravel with it and had a great time. NHL, I was able to download on my hard drive without having to load a disc. So the deal that you get with it is fantastic. And that's coming from somebody that's not a huge sports fan. I even got to try the Madden 17, having never played it before. Played it for a little bit. Going to be playing some FIFA soon. It's a fantastic deal, and now I'm going to be playing some Battlefront now that the expansions are there.
Yeah, I agree. And there's a way to discover so many games that you either never heard of or just never got around to trying. Whether it's Battlefield 4 or a game I'll never get tired of plugging.
Unravel.
Unravel. Yeah.
Yeah. Unravel.
Yeah, that's an amazing game.
So now we've talked to a few people actually that listen to the show that got a chance to play Unravel just from having EA access, and all of a sudden they're figuring out what we've been talking about for a year.
Yeah. Dylan would be an example of this person.
Yep. So they're figuring out actually a year and a half what we've been talking about. That Unravel's awesome.
Wait a minute. Dylan is an example of a lot of things.
Yeah. So, but
some of which I can't mention on the air.
Yeah, but this is a good example.
Oh, okay. All right. Now that you got that straight. Okay.
Or an example of a good thing. So,
all right.
So yeah, definitely. If you're on the fence about EA Access, now's the time to go get it, because there are.
Time was a long time ago.
Go on CD Keys. Get it on CD Keys.
Didn't take a rocket surgeon to figure this out before.
No, but you're getting two big time heavyweights for games. Titanfall 2 for a shooter for me had one of the best campaigns I've played in a long time.
I agree 100%.
Yep. And I think Battlefield 1, as far as a competitive online shooter, is as good as it gets. So, yeah. And then you get all the Battlefront Battlefront expansions, which makes me want to go back and play the Death Star now.
Yeah.
So
right.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
All right. If you're looking forward to Destiny 2 like we are, the beta is just less than 2 weeks away now, actually. So that's pretty cool. But we saw a feature from the developers. IGN has this as their IGN First this month for Destiny 2. So we're getting a lot of info about this game. And we saw the existence of adventures, treasure maps, and flashpoints. So flashpoints are weekly events that you jump into play. So probably like your strikes and stuff like that.
Sure.
And adventures they have a little bit of story element to them. So they're like side quests, basically. How they explain it was 10 to 15 minute things to go do. Some are, like horde mode type things. Some are maybe puzzle oriented, whatever. And then treasure maps, which you go and do, and those are more geared towards getting you really cool stuff at the end of it, whether it's a weapon or gear or whatever.
Right.
So this game's going to be a little different. It's not all just, look at the map and select what you want to do.
Thank God.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, it wasn't the fact that I was like a massive Destiny hater, because I played it for months, dude. But once it came the same 3 places over and over and over again with like 3 different missions, it's just.
Yeah, I hear you.
It got a lot better.
Yeah, and they did learn a lot from their mistakes. And when I played the first DLC, even that was a little better than the expansion, made it significantly better in my mind. But I think they lost a lot of players by then, and that's unfortunate. But yeah,
I really enjoyed. So this treasure thing, the treasure maps things has got me a little bit interested because
yeah.
In the expansions, I don't know if you guys ever tried it out, Tyler. There's certain things that in certain maps that you with a group of people that if you completed certain hidden things that you would find a hidden chest and get like some super awesome weapons, some super awesome armor. That kind of makes me think of this. Like you had to do things that were insane. Like I think one of them you had to get sprayed by like a certain enemy with like their liquid, and then like you had to jump across this canyon and make it to the secret cave, and then get to the end of the cave. And if you get there like within 60 seconds or something like that, or maybe it's like longer than that, maybe it's like 2 minutes.
You get kicked out of bed.
A chest popped up and had super awesome guns in it, and the game didn't tell you this stuff. Like you just had to know how to do this. So I think that's interesting. I hope it's like that where you have to work together with some guys and get sprayed by stuff and then go find some treasure.
Yeah. So. Yeah, however we want to take that, but that's
I can't take this anymore.
but anyway, no, I totally agree though. I think, and I think Mike, I know you were never a huge fan of the first one. You weren't a hater, but you never like super bought in. But
no, but I mean, I played it for months and months and months. I played it with you. I played it without you. I mean, I gave it a fair shake.
But I think though, and we've had this conversation before, like off the show many times, but I think that Destiny is the type of game that is absolutely built to play with a group of people. It's not a like solo run around and do stuff type of game, because then it becomes horrifically boring. Because then what you're doing is you're either shooting in a cave, right, or you're you're just going doing like the same. When you have those like the loot runs. I remember the one around Mars with like the base where you just kept going in a circle and like hitting the different chests.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you end up doing that for hours trying to like farm loot. And that's great, but that's not what the game's about. The game's about getting into like the Nightfall strikes and really being challenged and getting cool gear at the end of it.
Oh, those heroic strikes are great.
Yeah, but you can't do them solo.
Oh,
so you need a group of people that you play with all the time, so you know how they play, and just go and tackle this stuff together. And we've actually like we never did a raid in the first one, and so I'm really looking forward to doing that. No, we never did a raid.
Oh,
we
wait,
never did a
raid. Yeah, we did strikes.
We did strikes. We never did a raid. So really looking forward to doing the raid in the second one, because that's where you get the gear.
Me too, bro.
So absolutely looking forward to that. Graham, anything? I know you never played the first one, but are you getting hyped at least a little bit?
I am, and more and more I hear about this, I get more excited. But as far as adventures and treasure maps and flashpoints, I don't know anything about this stuff and strikes, so I'm definitely looking forward to getting my feet wet and enjoying. I play this game online with you guys.
Well, I can't wait till we play it, because I want to hear what Graham thinks about it. Because the three of us, the rest of us, are going to look at it through the lens of comparing it to Destiny 1, right? So Graham's going to come in new, and it's just going to be like, how I like this game. So I'm really interested to hear what you think.
Yeah.
And I'll give you my honest opinion.
Yep, I know you will. And we'll give you our honest opinion. We'll give you our honest opinion.
It's not like going to lie to us. I mean, not going to be like, well, I told you that because I didn't want to get you get upset.
Well, we'll give you our honest opinion of you Ramboing it and, rushing in where angels fear to tread.
Yes, pretty much.
Hey, Graham, where you at? Revive you all the time, and carrying you on our shoulders. And...
Yeah.
Well, here we go.
You are the one person in the world I would never play the original EverQuest with. I need a res. You know what? Eat one.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Like Graham, you are Leroy Jenkins.
You are, seriously.
Leroy
Jenkins. It's not even on purpose. It's just you do what you do, and it's just.
We love you, Graham. It's okay.
It's good to know. I'm glad you clarified.
We're used to it.
So reminder again. If you pre-order the game, you get to play it on the 18th of July on PS4, the 19th on Xbox One, and the open beta begins on the 21st of July. So, looking forward to jumping into that with everybody, especially on the 19th and 20th. Before it gets flooded.
I was just thinking of something. If Dylan plays Destiny 2 with us, he does that murder thing every time. You can hear every 5 seconds. You watch the bars and Rambo's just goes down to nothing. Murder.
We'll see, guys. We'll see. Maybe I'll switch up my gaming strategy.
But Graham, I gotta tell you, like, I love Graham. We gotta play Battlefield 1 again because I love playing Battlefield 1 with you because I play as a medic. And
I'm sure you get a lot of experience from just
here we go.
So anyway, sorry, we're done.
I'm just here to help you guys out. That's what I'm for.
All right, so on the way. No, Graham's pretty good at Battlefield 1. So I'll give him that. Pokemon Go, a game we haven't talked about on the show for a long, long time. But we got some numbers this week that are pretty staggering. This game has been downloaded over 750 million times.
That is insane.
Wow.
And it's brought in over $1 billion with a B dollars in revenue.
Wow.
That's insane.
That's impressive for a free-to-play game.
How long has it been out? 1 year now?
Yeah, it came out in July last year.
Yeah, I remember, like, Rockstar, they announced, like, I want to say, like, 2 years into the life cycle of Grand Theft Auto 5, you know, they announced that we got $1 billion, you know, from the multiplayer, from all the, you know, shark cards and things like that. It was big news for them. It was big gaming news. To me, this is bigger. This is a mobile game. 750 million people. That is absurd.
Well, remember, this wasn't a worldwide release last July either. This was limited. Like, Graham, you didn't have this in Canada last July. It took, there were the people that went and, like, made the accounts like they lived in the U.S. or whatever, so they could play it. Because I know, like, Toronto, especially, like, around the CN Tower is, like, a big thing, right? Or was for the game.
Yeah.
But remember those pictures last summer, though, where you'd see, like, this horde of people?
Oh, yeah.
Like, all looking at their phones, trying to catch whatever.
Yeah. I was late jumping in on that phenomenon, but it was awesome. And when I be driving down the road, I see a group of people with phones. I'm like, they're catching Pokemon. And I was probably right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and there's little Susie setting up her lemonade stand right next to one of the big hops.
Well, I'll tell you, one thing I loved about this game, and I actually haven't opened it and played it in a long time, but I loved how it brought people together. So, a quick example, like at work, you know, I work in retail, and my boss played the game too. And, like, this guy, he's like, you know, store manager, he runs a $130 million business.
Yeah.
And he plays the game too, and like, he would text me, he'd be home at night, and he'd text me screenshots of catching Pikachu and stuff like that. But there was one day at work where our store was going through, like, a full remodel. Excuse me. And so a lot of stuff going on. He's in a meeting with, like, all these, like, home office people talking about stuff in the store. And I didn't know who he was. And I'm just sitting there, I'm looking at Pokemon Go like everybody else that works there. So, sorry for stealing money. Payroll. But anyway, but I see there's a Snorlax right out in front of the store, which is a pretty sweet catch. Right? So I get on the walkie and I'm calling him, the store manager, and I say, what's your location? And he tells me, and I go over there and I see he's in this meeting with all these home office people. So I'm like, oh, no, never mind. I'll tell you later. And he's like, no, what is it? And so I just want to tell you there's a Snorlax right outside the front door. And he looks at these home office people and he's like, I'll be back in a couple minutes. And we walk up to the front door to catch it. I mean, so that type of stuff was really cool. It was actually great in a workplace environment.
Yeah.
Because it actually helped us as a team really bond more, not just like within our management team, but like with anybody, like somebody who pushes carts, it gives you something to talk about with them. So I think this game did something that most games don't do. You know, it's accessible to everybody. Everybody tried it. 750 million people did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I think it's a great game. And
oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just saying that, like, whenever it first came out, like, me and my girlfriend would go out and we would go to the park. Well, I live in Little Rock, you know, and we would go to the river market here, and there would be probably around 500 people just walking around, and people were socializing, people were helping each other out, like saying, hey, go over there, there's I just caught this over there, or there's a nest right there, or hey, we just took over this gym right here. It was really just a fun social game. I wish it still had the same aspect, but it's kind of gone downhill. It's kind of revamped a little bit. Now they have the gym raids, the boss raids, which are pretty neat. I haven't gone and tried that yet, so I might get back into it and try it this weekend or something. But I just don't have the flair for it anymore. I do admit though, I probably sunk in $50 myself, maybe even more, just buying Pokeballs and berries and food and things like that. Yeah.
And I just wish I lived in a bigger city right now, because that's where it's fun to play it.
Yeah, and then you really don't have to worry about buying Pokeballs, because I think at one point I had way over 200 or something like that. Like I was getting rid of like the smaller ones because
that's the issue. That's the issue. So I live in a rural area. I have to drive 20 or 30 miles just to get to a good location.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So like Graham, you live, relatively close to Toronto. So it's not hard to find, right?
No. Like even Hamilton's a big city, and like I could walk for probably 10 minutes and I'll hit like probably 8 Pokestops.
Yeah. So that's where the game's designed.
There's no shortage. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like when it first came out, I didn't get into it right away, but then I've seen a bunch of people playing it, so then I got into it. And then I was full on into it, like just spending all my time and stuff. But then when Generation 2 came out, I kind of got into it a little bit, then I just completely stopped. Pretty much stopped when Breath of the Wild Legend of Zelda came out. So March, that's pretty much when
So you played it longer, I think, than most people did.
Yeah, I kept at it pretty long.
Okay, cool. Anything else on that?
Yeah, he has an unhealthy obsession with Zelda. I heard he sleeps with the cartridge at night.
Yeah.
That's a matter of opinion. That's your opinion.
All right. So PlayStation did a no this week. And on their official YouTube account, they were showing the game Anthem running, which we saw on the Microsoft stage and a little bit at EA's conference at E3. They were showing it running on the official PlayStation YouTube channel, and unfortunately, all the footage was running from the Xbox One X, and PlayStation just put images of PS4 button prompts over the Xbox Ones. So,
oh damn!
Kind of a no, because you're not giving an accurate representation of what the game's going to look like.
Yeah,
because it's not running on your hardware.
Yeah,
and you're trying to be deceptive on top of it.
Yeah, this is a big deal. I don't see how there may not be any legal ramifications for this. I look for the video, and I see in an article that they've already taken the video down, but I saw the screenshots of it, and these are like poorly photoshopped images that they have.
They're bad.
Like you can see like they have the R1 and L1 and R2, L2 buttons being shown, but you can see clearly right under it that it says RB, and LB, right underneath it. They didn't even try covering it up at all. I mean, and tons of people saw it. So big faux pas on them. And like you said, bad misrepresentation, misleading. It's very bad.
Well, and the thing is, they felt like they had to show it on a better system, which I guess, in their opinion, is the Xbox One X. Like, why else would they choose the Xbox One X to show this off?
I think
I see what you're doing there.
Yeah, I like Graham's sarcasm. That's fine.
But I'm curious. Do you think EA provided this video to PlayStation?
No,
or I wonder if it was somebody at Sony.
It was somebody at Sony, because this like sounds like it has like intern job written all over it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think what Sony needs to do is get the message out there that this game's going to be on the PlayStation. Because this game was only shown alongside Xbox. So I think that's the point of it. But to do it in this fashion, man, it's hard to defend. I'm sure some people are, but it's hard to defend.
Yeah.
And PlayStation's got enough great games coming out that they don't need to do this.
They should hire me now, because I'm a beast with MS Paint. I could have took care of that problem. No.
Well, I mean, I've got KidPix Pro. I could have done a better job.
Yeah. I mean, I just could have drawn. I could have drawn with the mouse, like the R2 over it, and it would have been just as good.
I could have done a better job on an Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah. So. And I'm sorry, if you're listening, poor guy or girl formerly employed at PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah. we applaud the effort. It was a really good try.
Yeah.
But
you get an E for effort.
Just, yes. But because we don't get Fs anymore, remember.
No,
people have feelings.
You definitely unprofessional.
You get an E. But yeah, that's kind of crappy, I think. And, I don't want to come down on PlayStation too hard, but I mean, I don't know. I think it's crappy to be misleading. And when you're up by 20 million consoles and the sales war, you don't need to be misleading. You got enough good games coming out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just show what you have. Show Spider-Man. Show God of War. Show what's the zombie one again? Sorry, I keep forgetting.
Days Gone.
Days Gone. Yeah, show those.
Yeah.
So, all right. Finally, from Xbox. Mike Ybarra from Xbox has confirmed something we've been waiting for a long time, that players on Xbox One will soon be able to gift games to other players.
Meaning me, for example, can give me gifts.
No, you are giving me gifts.
But this is really cool because, I think it'd be awesome to, just give somebody like say, a lot of people that are on Xbox Live make great friends over Xbox Live.
Right.
So say Christmas comes around, you want to give somebody a gift, you can give them a game.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Or, you're playing with a friend that you went to college with from across the country, give them a game. It makes it so much easier.
Since Graham won this E3 predictions thing,
there you go.
I can just gift him a game through Xbox. I don't have to send him anything.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
So I think this is something that is going to be responded to very well by the community, and I think we'll see a lot of good usage out of it. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like people like us that give away like games for prizes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is like right up their alley.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, when we get to the point where we start running tournaments and stuff like that, easy to give away prizes, right? So,
yep.
Yeah, that'll be really cool. So, kudos to Xbox for doing that, and for not, trying to Photoshop images of your stuff over it. So we appreciate it. Anyways, that's going to do it for news this week. Graham, what do you have new in stores for us to buy?
Okay, well, for next week, there's not a whole lot going on for new releases, but we do have releases for all major systems, so let's get to it. We have only one PS4 title that will be released for only the PS4, and it's some DLC actually, and this DLC is for Final Fantasy XII. This DLC is titled The Zodiac Age and will be available for download on July 11th.
Yeah.
Eugene's excited?
I'm very excited. I already pre-ordered it.
There you go. As for the other titles being released on the PS4, we have Hunting Simulator, which also releases on Xbox One. And now this title will be available for both systems on July 11th. Next, we have something for fans of Minecraft. And I know they're out there because it's been purchased by a lot of people. We have Season 2 of Telltale series, which will be beginning next week with the release of Episode 1, Hero in Residence. Now, this all begins on July 11th and will be available for PS4, Xbox One, and PC gamers. Now, our final PS4 release for next week is Black the Fall. Now, this game will also be released on Xbox One and will be available for both PS4 and Xbox One. So let's talk about Xbox releases for next week. We have Fable Fortune. Now, this game will be available for Xbox One as well as PC, and will release.
Yes. I'm very interested in that one, my friend.
Yeah, it's a card game, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But it's the Fable universe, and that's something that's right up my alley, so I'm going to give this one a serious go.
Yeah. Just recently I got into Elder Scrolls Legends, so I don't think I'm going to jump on another card game right now. But this is pretty cool, too. I was a big Fable fan.
Yeah.
So other people are big fans that are wondering about this. It will be on PC and Xbox One on July 11th.
Cool.
And then on the 12th, Xbox One owners can get Cryptical. And on the 14th, Serial Cleaner will be released on Xbox One. what a name.
I've seen that before. It is a weird-ass game, but it's funny.
Yeah, so there you go.
What, funny, you got a price on that one?
I do not, sorry.
Damn it. What is wrong with you? Barcode yourself.
Maybe a couple things, but we won't get into that. So let's finish things off with the Nintendo Switch. On July 13th, Nintendo Switch owners will be able to play another new title, and that title is called Death Squared.
Yeah.
So there's something new coming to everyone, no matter what next-gen console you own. And if there was nothing in that list that gets you in a buying mode, then maybe my friend Mike here will have some great deals for you. Do you, Mike?
Nah.
No? Okay.
No, actually, it's a pretty anemic week. I'm just going to go roll over what we got for Games with Gold for July. We got Grow Up right now that's still free. July 16th, Runbow will be available, and so will Pirates of the Caribbean, Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. So, you can't go wrong with a Lego game. So make sure you guys, plop on and get that taken care of. PS4 and the rest of the PS things going on. I still got Until Dawn, which is a hell of a free game. Game of Thrones, pretty sure it's the complete package, but it doesn't say so on the website. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it is. Tokyo Jungle, Darkstalkers Resurrection, Elemental, and also Don't Die, Mr. Robot. Also, that's pretty much what's for free on there. Now, as far as the deals go that are out there in the real world, there is not a lot. There are a couple of interesting ones, though. If you guys haven't had a chance to play Civilization Revolution, it was a 360 game, and it wasn't really a bad Civilization game at all. If you purchase it right now for $750 via the Xbox Store, you get 6,000 reward credits as well. Shadow of Mordor Game of the Year edition is now a whole $4 on Xbox.com. So if you have not played this yet, you're not going to get it for any cheaper. They're not going to put it out for a nickel. It's $4. So grab it while you can. And right now, also, you can get, if you guys are Bing Rewards and, you do the Bing thing, $5 Xbox gift cards are 3,500 points right now. So that's not too bad. All right, now we're going to move over to the PS4. 1 year PlayStation Plus membership is $47.99 at Neo Games right now via eBay. That's not too terrible. I don't see a lot of deals better than like $45, $47 for a year for PS Plus. PS Now has a $99 12-month deal again. And they also added more PS4 games to the library, so that's also an option. Generic one, Seagate 4 terabyte portable hard drive is $99.99 at Newegg right now. That is the best price I've seen. I think, maybe I've seen $89.99, but $99.99 for a 4 terabyte, that's not bad at all. That pretty much wraps that up, except for there was, Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus is $29.99 right now via Amazon, online only, for the Switch. So if you guys haven't got that, it's kind of funky. It's kind of like a Rogue meets the original Zelda, sort of thing. So, that's pretty much it. And like I said, there's not a lot this week. So what about you, Eugene? You got some questions for us this week?
We do have a few questions this week. The first one comes from Rami Tabari. He asked, what is the best Star Wars game, and why is it Revenge of the Sith?
I actually didn't mind Revenge of the Sith. I don't know, I played it.
I never played it. Was it like on the original Xbox, or?
I think so. Yeah, it was.
It was? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't really remember playing that. Something that does come to mind with not a lot of people, a few people know about it, was Jedi Knights 2.
Yeah.
Jedi Knights 2 was on the original Xbox. I played it on
PC.
Yeah, I played it on PC, and I actually love that game.
Multiplayer was a lot of fun.
I didn't play the multiplayer, but the single player story and campaign was pretty good. It was I want to say it was a first person, right? Or was it third person?
Oh, it was first person. It was a first person. Like yes, with lightsabers, yeah.
Yeah, so you play like some Jedi Knights that are like from the Academy, and you're on some space station. You get stuck on there, and you just progress through the game, learning Force powers and building up your character and increasing your health and things like that. And then also eventually you get a lightsaber, which is awesome. You start off with some guns, but you eventually get a lightsaber, and it was kind of like my first Star Wars experience before The Force Unleashed. So I really did enjoy that game.
Right. I cannot agree with Mr. Rami. I think the best best Star Wars game out there was X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. But that's just my pick.
Was there one called like Rogue Squadron or something like that?
Oh yeah,
that's what I was saying. That's what I would say was my favorite. Mainly because
I like that.
Basically about the only one I did play, but that game was amazing. I really enjoyed it, and I still own it. And yeah, no, that's a great game. So yeah, that's
for
my
GameCube
choice.
was better. Rogue Leader.
Yeah, I never had that one.
How about Super Star Wars for the Super Nintendo?
Never played it.
My buddy had that one. Was that one level where you had to go, like you were flying and you had to like get towards that building way out in the background?
I don't remember. I actually have the cartridge.
You remember that part?
But I haven't played it, although I've heard that the second one, Empire Strikes Back for the Super Nintendo, is probably the hardest one.
Mm-hmm.
Like
now, Mike, did that game
like Battletoads level?
Did that game go through like all three of the original movies in one game, or was it a Super Star Wars, Super Empire, and Super?
Yeah, it was 3 separate games.
Okay, because I know they had like a Super Indiana Jones too, and that was like all 3 in one game.
No, it's just Super Star Wars Episode 4.
Okay.
One of these days I'll hook up the Nintendo app in the family room. You can check it out.
Okay. Any other thoughts on that? Nobody's gonna say Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh yeah, but
that was a good game, but it wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, I wouldn't say. I mean, it is a fantastic game, but meh.
Yeah.
It doesn't bring back too many great memories.
Do the rumors of a Knights of the Old Republic remake get anybody excited?
Meh.
Because I've played it before, unless there's 1,000 gamer score to be had, not really.
Okay.
I want that new Star Wars game. That was kind of hinted. Who's the developer for Dead Space?
Oh God.
You talking about 1313?
Mm-hmm.
No, that was canceled. This one was the one that Amy Hennig.
Yeah, they're working on Visceral.
Yeah, Visceral Games. Yeah, Visceral Games. Yeah, that's the one I'm excited for. Amy Hennig left the Uncharted team. She's the writer of all the Uncharted games. She left. She left the Uncharted 4 team, kind of late production. So they kind of had to make a lot of changes to the game and the story because it had her signature on it. And she moved over to Visceral and took over the Star Wars game. So I want to hear about this, and maybe that's why we haven't heard anything about Dead Space. They did come out both, honestly, but I do want to check out that Star Wars game that she's producing because she is she's a fantastic writer for games.
I'm really excited for that game. My only hope for it, and controversial statement incoming, I guess, but Naughty Dog is the best in the business at telling stories. But the gameplay sometimes can be clunky, in my opinion. And I just want to see like smooth gameplay for the game, especially if it's a shooter type game. I want to see a little bit more smooth gameplay than what like Last of Us. The story's freaking amazing, but the gameplay for me was a little clunky at times and just not smooth. So, and that's just for personal taste. Some people might disagree, but just for me, I just wanted to see it be a little bit more smooth. That's all.
All right.
What else we got?
We had another one from Sean Capusta. He asked, what is our favorite or most prized collectible game? I'm assuming he means gaming collectible. So what is your most prized gaming collectible? We already know Graham.
Well, that one's easy for me. I had the original Super Nintendo.
Okay. I'll go next because I know you two have like the stash. But I want to get more into collectibles for gaming. I do. I want to get more like the Halo statues and stuff like that for franchises that I'm just super into.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot right now, and I guess I'd have to say my most prized collectible. I do have. It's not for gaming necessarily, although we just talked Star Wars games, so we'll go with it. I have a replica lightsaber from Luke's lightsaber from Return of the Jedi.
Oh, nice.
Like the $150, $200 one.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah. So
well, wait a minute. That's not fair, because then you just went out of gaming into that.
Yeah, but I don't have any game collectibles.
Wait.
Nerd collectible. Collectible.
Okay, then I have from the 4th grade. I have the original Return to the Jedi lunchbox in very good condition.
Okay, that's fair.
So
that's right. Because otherwise, I would say my favorite gaming collectible is my thing I got from Loot Crate, which is the Coon.
Oh God!
Flag.
No!
I really want that flag.
No, that flag is awesome.
I want that flag. I've looked it up on eBay, and I think I'm just going to buy it. It's like $20. I think I'm going to go ahead and get it.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Graham, do you want to go or?
No, you can go first.
I have a few. I have a lot of collector's editions of games. I don't have anything that's like really prized, because they're not really rare. I do have a few things though that I'm kind of proud of and that I kind of like. The first is the one that I really like is I have the Fallout collection, which was a PC release, but it came with a mini nuke.
Yeah,
and this thing it's big. It's like it's about 18 inches tall. You can still get them for a pretty decent price right now, but I just thought it was really cool. Whenever there's a button on top that you press the top of it, and it makes a nuke sound. It's kind of neat. I also have a few banners hanging up in my gaming room that I've won. The first one I won in a Marvel vs. Capcom 3 tournament. I won it at a video game store. I came to the midnight release, and I played a bunch of kids, which is kind of sad. Like, played like a 12-year-old. There wasn't many adults there. I was the only adult there playing against like 12 and 13-year-olds, and I beat them. So I won this banner, that huge banner.
Were you like, in your face?
Yeah, I pretty much was, and then I knocked him down and laughed at him, So no, that didn't happen. But I did win the banner, so that thing's hanging up in my game room. I also have a shelf in my gaming room, and this wasn't something that was bought. This is actually made for me. My one of my ex-girlfriends, she for Christmas, her and her dad cut wood and made me a shelf. And I don't know if you guys have seen it ever in my picture of my gaming room, but it has all my NES games on it. But it's a that first Donkey Kong level, or the only Donkey Kong level for arcade. The red slants and all that. So she made me that. Her and her dad made me one of those, and she made it so I could store my NES games on. So currently it has all my NES collection, and it has my old school TV and my NES sitting on top of it, and it's all hooked up and everything. But that's really cool talking piece in my gaming room. I really like that. Grant?
Well, if I had to say what's worth the most, I have a Legend of Zelda Wii U that's brand new. It's never been out of the box. That's probably the most expensive thing I have. The Fallout 4 Pip-Boy. I love that thing. That thing is super cool. Especially you play the game, if you strap it on your wrist, and it speeds up the process of the game. So I think that thing is super cool. I have a few other ones. I have like the record collections of Fallout 3 and 4 and all the collector's editions. So yeah, that's probably my top ones. If I think long and hard, I'd probably think of other ones, but that's what I can think of top of my head.
So Eugene, I gotta ask you, the flag, it's $20 on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So those of you who don't know, it's for the South Park game coming up, and in the show, the boys all create superheroes, and Eric Cartman's the Coon.
Yeah.
For whatever stupid reason. But
no, it's cool. It was a Loot Crate exclusive item, so you can't just go to the store and buy it. It's really cool, and it has it says Coon and Friends on it, right?
Yeah, Coon and Friends, and it has the logo. And it's it's just awesome. So
give it to me.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad I have it, and one of those I actually considered giving it away as part of the E3 giveaways, but I was like, no, I just like this thing too much, so I'm not gonna do it. All right, what else do we have?
Let's do one more question. We got time for one more question, maybe?
Yeah, one more.
Let's do one. I had one from Dylan Anderson here.
No.
I had one from Dylan Anderson. Let me see. Okay, so with Friday the 13th being a moderate success, would you like to see other horror characters get their own game, like Predator, which I would get day one, or say Freddy Krueger, just to name a few? So horror game, video game in the year 2017, 2018.
Like my favorite horror series is the Halloween series, but I think that's too similar to Friday the 13th in terms of game style, in a lot of ways. I guess I'd go for not Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, if you find a cool way to introduce the dream element to the game.
Yeah.
See, there's a lot of problems with doing Nightmare on Elm Street, because then it would promote pill popping and drugs and all kinds of stuff, because the people would have to try to stay awake, you know. And then once they couldn't stay awake anymore, then that's when, you know, stuff starts going sideways.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when stuff starts going sideways, it's always in a dream, and it's so lucid and weird and stuff like that like 4 different scenarios is not going to do it, you know?
Right.
So I don't even know how they would pull that off. But I tell you one thing, Tyler, I'm with you on the Michael Myers thing. However, in the original Halloween, the dude was always slower than snail snot, so he'd have to be the Michael Myers from the Rob Zombie remake, because that dude was a juggernaut.
I like those Halloween movies.
Yeah, me too. Me too. But that dude was just, you know, on point, and just you were just done if that dude was within a mile distance of you. He drove cars, you know, dirt bikes, you name it.
Well, to be fair, they kind of changed that with the Friday the 13th remake too.
I haven't seen the Friday the 13th remake.
It's actually not bad, but you know, whereas in the originals, Jason just kind of walked after you.
Yeah.
And in the remake, it's not so much that. He's much more fast and agile and all that type of thing. So, yeah, and I think that's just catching up with modern times. But
honestly, before I let it go to somebody else, you know, if you keep doing these over and over and over again, people are going to get sick of them, you know. But I think if you're really going to do one, you might as well do one with an alien, you know, as via Alien, the first movie.
Okay. Yeah, I would say, wouldn't Alien Isolation kind of cover that?
Not really, because you're on your own, and there's a bunch of androids in there, and in all of the series, there's only been one android in the movie, you know. So that one was, you know, another take on it. So basically, what happens is, you know, it tells you that, you know, like in the beginning of Arkanoid, you know, dun, 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 you know, your ship, you know, they landed, somebody got something in their mouth, and all of a sudden, you know, they died, and out it goes, and it goes screeching off into the vents, and you have to figure out how you're going to either kill it or get off the ship before it gets you. So, I mean, that to me would be a viable one.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like his suggestion of Predator, actually.
Yeah, I think that'd be a pretty good idea. I mean, they're pretty successful with Alien Isolation. It got pretty good reviews, and but you can do that with that game, and they're pretty creative with it. That is you know, you're hiding, you're always in suspense, but is pretty repetitive. Is basically 20 hours of just doing that. I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, how could they do like a Freddy Krueger game? Something like that. I was thinking, what if Telltale put their hands on it, and Telltale did like a Freddy Krueger game, and you played like one of the kids, and you know, trying to run away from them, and you fall asleep, and you go into this dream sequence, and you have to go through button prompts. So I think Telltale could pull it off. But I was thinking, like, what horror, you know, unpopular opinion. You guys probably won't like me for this, but I know you don't like me for a lot of reasons, Mike. But I don't like the Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I just never really enjoyed them. I thought they were kind of boring personally. But
that's fine, dude. Because I mean, I didn't think the Friday the 13th movies were all that great. However, I thought that Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and 3, especially 3, were really good.
Yeah. I could never get into them. I mean, I like the Halloween movies a lot more.
That's fine, man. I mean,
no, I didn't. I'm kind of with you. Like, I'm much more a fan of the Halloween movies, but I like Nightmare on Elm Street. I think they have some cool elements to it, and I think the dream element's awesome. That's what separates it from every other slasher movie of that generation. Friday the 13th, it's hit and miss. Like the first Friday the 13th to me is excruciatingly boring.
Oh yeah, God. 2 was not that great either.
But there's some later on, like 4 and 5 and 6 are actually pretty decent. Once you get to 7, they've definitely jumped the shark with it.
Yeah. And then Jason Goes to Manhattan. It's like, what?
Yeah, those dumb ones.
Jason Goes to Space. What?
Yeah.
The one I remember was like the one where they kind of told his origin story of when he is at the camp and he's like drowning. Which one was that one? Like where they show him getting picked on. That's 3. Yeah, and that is the one that I remember, and I think I like that one the best. I think I like Nightmare on Elm Street, like the 4th one or something like that. But the movie that I would like to see is one of my favorite in horror movies when I was younger, and it kind of gave me nightmares when I was younger, was Child's Play.
I was going to bring up Child's Play, actually. Yes. There is a new Child's Play movie coming this October.
Yeah,
but it's straight to DVD.
I'm not excited about it. After Bride of Chucky, it kind of got corny, but
I'll tell you,
those first 3 games, if I could play a Telltale like Child's Play game, where you're like maybe the kid or you're the mom, and you buy this doll, and if you could just play through these sequences, maybe it's a new story, I don't know, but those movies were really funny to me, but they also like made me horrified of dolls when I was younger.
Yeah.
So
and
Child's Play. I would love a Child's Play game.
All right, actually, I have a viable suggestion. What about Hellraiser?
I was good. I was thought about Hellraiser, but go ahead.
Okay, here's the deal. So Pinhead exists, and his other 2 cronies exist. Okay, they're the 3 major cronies. So you start playing with the stupid cube. Somebody has to play with the cube. And so then they get open doors, they go into, the weird stuff that you see in the movie and everything. And it opens them to be able to come into the other world. And if they get you, then you become one of them. And then you try to hunt down the rest of the people. So instead of it being a 1-on-7 the entire time, the odds keep changing and changing and changing until you figure out how to change the cube to the point where they're all sent back to hell.
I kind of like that.
Interesting.
I like that. And go ahead, man.
You guys give me. Well, I was gonna come up with mine. Because you guys give me lots of time to think about it. Snow Day, really? No. I was thinking this would be really good for the atmosphere and the type of that. Like the scary would be like a Blair Witch one.
I was gonna bring up Blair Witch when we were talking about Telltale.
Oh, really?
Because I think those psychological, like get in your head type horror movies are much more made for that type of game.
Yeah.
Than just to survive the monster.
The Friday the 13th type, where it's like 1 versus 7. There can't be a Blair Witch like that because there was no bad guy in Blair Witch.
Well, I was thinking there could be like 4 people like trying to hide away from this witch, and then if this witch like catches you, like you're dead somehow.
Yeah, but there was no witch.
Did you guys ever play Slender?
Play what?
Slender. You guys ever play Slender?
No.
That game was intense. I really enjoyed that game. So I could see them doing something like that with Blair Witch, where you're in the woods and you're running away from something. You turn around, you see him. You're running through dark alleys and dark hidden places. I can totally see that, Graham.
Yeah, I can too. Especially if you limited, it would make the game really limited. But inside the house at the end of the movie, that would be pretty intense. I think.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure that would terrify me.
Yeah, it would me too. Like that movie got to me more than a lot of others, and I love horror movies. Horror is one of my favorite genres.
Okay, well, then we go one more further. I mean, I know we're gonna get off this in a second, but what about The Ring?
Okay.
Yeah, that could work too for sure.
I could see The Ring working really, really well in a type of game like a Layers of Fear type.
Yes.
And Layers of Fear, by the way, everybody out there, if you haven't played it, that is an underrated horror game.
Yeah, I've downloaded that one because it was Games Gold, but I've not played it yet.
Oh, it's good, Graham.
Yeah, but you know what? If you put Jason there and you put the girl from The Ring crawling out of the well in front of me, I'm gonna run until I die from the girl from The Ring. That movie spooked the hell out of me.
Yeah,
like, and I'll be honest, like when I originally watched that movie, it wasn't doing much for me until she crawled out of the TV. that scene, and I was on the edge of I sat up and I was on the edge of my seat at that point.
You should have turned off the TV at that point.
I know, but yet, what was I gonna say? Oh, one other one, and I'm like I said, I'm a huge horror movie fan, but I can't like put a title of the movie on it right now. But the type of movies where it's based on each person's individual fear, so the monster is actually different to different types of people.
Like It.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, where the monster's actually like for one person it might be, a Jason type thing, and for another person it might be like a werewolf, whatever their greatest fear is, that's what manifests. A game like that for like a 6-on-1 might be interesting.
Yeah. I was thinking too, Scream might be another one like that too, right?
Yeah. Speaking of 6-on-1 nightmares, how about Magic Mike?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So just one more thing that I wanted to add on. Until Dawn is it free this month or was it last?
Yes,
it's free this month. It's free this month. Download Until Dawn because it's a great kind of a horror game about survival. But what would you guys think? We've all played Late Shift here, I think. What would you guys think about a cinematic horror movie?
Yes,
that wouldn't be terrible.
Making decisions and just based on decisions that you make to survive. Certain friends die and maybe you die, or maybe you kill the whoever. I think that might be interesting.
I love that idea. I think that's fantastic, and I would buy that on day one. Because,
you know what?
Yeah, if you have multiple different endings and different ways to experience the story through different decisions you make, yes, I'm all.
I mean, that's what Until Dawn is, but do it in a cinematic movie, kind of like Late Shift.
Live action though,
live action. They're not.
Or you could do a slower version of Dragon's Lair / Space Ace, kind of thing. But those were hard games. I actually finished Space Ace in the arcade, but I could not topple Dragon's Lair.
Yeah, but like Eugene said, if you're a fan of any of those like 80s horror movies, get Until Dawn, because it's kind of like a celebration of those movies in a way.
Also, Dead by Daylight is out now too, which is kind of like Friday the 13th as well.
Yep.
So,
all right.
Well, that answers that, and then some.
Cool. Well, thank you for sending in questions this week. We appreciate it, and you generated some good discussion, so thank you. Please join our Facebook group if you haven't yet. Go to Gaming Culture Radio Forums on Facebook. Join that. Submit questions just like we read just now, and you'll be entered to win our monthly giveaways. Now that we've gotten to a higher number of people in our forums, giveaways get better, and as more people join, the giveaways will get even better still. So please go ahead and join, submit questions, and give us something to talk about, because we'd much rather hear what you want us to talk about than just make it up ourselves.
Right.
So with that, that's going to do it for episode number 61 of Gaming Culture Radio. We're going to be back next week with episode number 62, hopefully with a pretty good update for you on where the website's at for Xbox Culture, and with all the latest news in gaming for the week. Until then, everybody, for Mike, Graham, and Eugene, I'm Tyler saying thank you so much for joining us. Have a great week, everybody. Stay safe and play some great games. We'll talk to you next week.
Take care, everyone.
All right, see you guys.